everybody? It's your good buddy 650 Eve here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a special video for you because I am going to put my 2021 BMW M1000 RR against my 2019 Ducati Panigale V4 R. Back-to-back comparison to tell you which one I prefer the best. Longtime viewers might remember that 9 years ago I put my 2013 Ducati Panigale 1199 R against my 2013 BMW HP4, and I chose the Panigale 1199 R over the HP4 back then. Well, today, 9 years later, we're going to see which one of those new machines is my favorite. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. For returning subscribers, tap that bell, and you'll get notified when new content is uploaded. So we see the vintage bikes still looking great, running strong, beautiful machines to this day. Today, 2022, I pick the HP4 over the 1199 R for a variety of reasons. I made a video about that last year, but the HP4 is just really hard to beat. Super reliable bike and comfortable and everything else. Today, we're here to talk about these two machines, and I waited until I got the Uline suspension put onto my M1000 RR to compare these two machines back to back because they are very equally spec'd at this point. They're both running Uline suspensions. They both have lots of carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber belly pans, carbon fiber subframes. But these two bikes look totally different. So let's start with aesthetics. Which one of these machines, in my opinion, looks the best? And as I stand here and circle them, I must tell you that it's extremely difficult. Really difficult to pick which one of these looks the best. I mean, I love the colorway of the M1000 RR and how it's just an extremely colorful, very lively looking machine. Especially, you know, you ride these things in the summertime, so we want them to look really beautiful. But if you look at the V4R, man, this thing is just gorgeous. The all red with the contrast of the carbon fiber and the aluminum exposed fuel tank and the single-sided swinging arm. I gotta give it to the V4R. I mean, the single-sided swinging arm, if you look at it from this profile and you just see that ThyssenKrupp carbon fiber wheel, it looks like it's floating right there. I mean, you really, look at that. You gotta go with the V4R. But tell me what you guys think. Which one do you think looks the best? I mean, they all have an extreme amount of modified parts. Every single part on both of these machines comes from Miami Manny at Moto Million, and they can be found on his website. A discount code link to it is in the description. But, you know, these are not stock bikes, of course. Just about everything on them has been changed. Both of the machines have Bryn tuning ECU flashes, and which makes them more peppy, extends the rev limit on both machines, you know, improves the quick shifting on both of them. They're just awesome. They both have aftermarket quick shifters, now that I mention it. The M1000, it's going to call it HP4, has an Alpha Racing quick shift auto blip unit, and it works really nice. And I'm forgetting for the moment which one this guy has, but it's not stock. And its name is not on it. 5 Up Motorcycles is going to kill me for not remembering the name, but it's a different one too, and it works very well. So, you know, we got the first thing out of the way. In my opinion, the Panigale V4 R has a slight advantage over the M1000 RR in the looks department. Now, let's see which one has a better cold start sound, okay? Let's start with the M1000. Start of the M1000 RR with this Bryn tuning ECU flash sounds really nice. Starts up on the first try. A definite improvement over the stock bike. Now, I need to mention as well that the motor of the M1000 RR is not stock. It has a thinner head gasket, which totally brings this bike to life. Any M1000 RR owner out there, you need to get the thinner head gasket from Miami Manny and Alpha Racing. And you also have to get a different ECU flash once you do that from Bryn Tuning, but it totally transforms this bike to something really special. it seems like it just revs forever now. Very, very fast bike. More peppy on the low end as well. But that is the cold start of the M1000 RR. I'll give it just a couple revs. Yep. Of course, both bikes have a Krapovich exhausts. Now just prepare your headphones if you're headphone users, because this Panigale V4 R is a lot louder than the M. But let's give this bike a cold start, huh? Everybody loves to hear, and that's the V4 R's dry clutch. And no, it does not sound like a bucket of boats or a tractor or John Deere himself rolling in his grave, as people have mentioned in the comment section. It's a very, very lovely sound. I told you, this thing's loud. All right, the neighbors are awake. They should be awake anyway. It's the middle of the afternoon. All right, we've heard both bikes. We've seen how they look. I'm going to jump on the V4 R and tell you how it feels to ride on the road. So everybody knows this bike is amazing. Produces a lot of power from the 998cc the V4 engine. It revs to 16,500 RPM. And it revs so high that the stock shift light is useless, and you have to install the Heel Tech Shift Light Pro on the bike, just so you'll know when it's time to shift, because you don't think that it's time to shift and you look down and you're only at 13,000 or 14,000 RPM. You've got 3,000 more to go. That's just how wild and savagery this bike is. It's the reason why they use this engine in the SUPERSPORT V4. It's just that amazing. And the quick shift auto grip on this thing is flawless. So smooth. And it has a really great feel. You know, we always struggle and search for words to explain how riding this bike feels. You really can't do it. You gotta just ride one, but it's totally different than the 1103cc engine that's in the V4S and the base V4. Wow, this thing is just great. Always super hard for me to figure out which one of these bikes is the best. But let's talk about simple stuff like the gauges. The gauges are nice. They show a lot of information. They reduce glare, you know, pretty good. You know, like right now it's decently sunny out and sun's flashing on that gauge cluster and I can still see it very nicely. This bike has the latest and greatest flash from Ducati. It's called Racing Evo. And it also on top of that has a Ventuning ECU flash. So it's wild and savagery. That road I was just on, or that I'm on right now, you really can't, yeah, you can't really, I mean, you're never going to see the top of the rev range on the road like this. You're gonna see that only on the track or on the filthy highway system, but this thing is just great. And it's a comfortable bike to ride. I mean, the fuel tank here is wide, but it's narrow where your legs are located, where your knee is. It's pretty nice. It's going to be tough to choose between this bike and the BMW M1000 RR. I'm going to do my best, but it's a tough call. I mean, obviously, if your wallet can support it, it's good to have both bikes. But I'm going to jump on the M1000 RR next, and we're going to see which one of these bikes is my favorite. And I tell you, that thinner head gasket really improved this engine's performance. It makes a lot more power, runs a lot smoother, revs up a lot faster now. And as you can see, it'll lift that wheel in second and third gear. And now that it has the lean suspension, it feels great too, and it handles great. The leans and the thinner head gasket is exactly what this motorcycle needed. And also the Alpha Racing quick shifter, because now this thing just shifts so quick and smoothly. It's really amazing. But how do you compare the two motorcycles, the M1000 and the Panigale V4 R? It is so difficult. Now this bike, when I jump on it, immediately I feel more comfortable. Being tall, 6'3", 225 pounds, you know, this bike is just, it's more agreeable for a person of my height and size, and it's definitely more comfortable. And also, I don't feel the heat coming from the engine as I do on the Panigale V4 R. Man, for the bikes to be so different, but to be so close in performance is really amazing. And we're going to put my M1000 RR and my Panigale V4 R on the dyno at turn 13 real soon, so you'll be able to see the power difference, and that's going to be amazing. But as the power translates into the streets, into roads like this that we ride, where you're not really tapped out or anything, these bikes feel equal. The power feels equal on the road. They rev very similarly, very fast, very quick revving bikes, the both of them. Wow, I'm really surprised at how much similar the bikes are now that this bike has the thinner head gasket mod. And that's a bold statement, because the Panigale V4 R has been known to be high revving, super fast, you know, the top of the food chain, 998cc machine. And now that you have this thing with the mods done to it, it's right there with it. So now to try to figure out which one is the best, so to speak, is very difficult. And it really comes down to your preference. You know, price-wise, the V4 R is $39,999, basically $40,000. This bike is $37,900, $38,000. Just a $2,000 price difference. You know, for the Panigale V4 R, you got to get the exhaust installed onto it and purchase it. You know, that's like $7,000, $8,000. This bike comes with an exhaust, but you still have to rip it off because it has catalytic converters and everything else inside of it. So you still end up needing another exhaust for this bike, which is about, you know, $2,500. So, you know, they both come, well, actually no, this one comes with carbon wheels and the V4 R does not. It comes with forged Marchesini aluminum wheels. So basically what I'm trying to say is the price point is right there. They're very close, neck and neck. So if you can afford the M1000 RR, you can certainly afford the Panigale V4 R.
And, you know, if you want my advice or my opinion on which one is the best between the two, I mean, this one has a 3-year warranty. You know, the Panigale V4 has a 2-year warranty. You know, the cost of ownership of both bikes is definitely less on the M1000 for sure. It's going to cost you less money to keep this bike running. You're probably going to be more comfortable on this bike. This bike has creature comforts that you might be used to from your automobiles, such as, you know, navigation system and heated grips, cruise control. Panigale V4 R doesn't have that. So the bottom line is, which bike is my favorite between the two? It's most certainly the one I'm riding right now, the BMW M1000 RR, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yes, the V4R has an advantage over it on the looks department, yeah, with its single-sided swinging arm and all that. But at the end of the day, which bike do I pull out of my garage to ride more often? It's definitely this bike. You know, which bike would I loan to one of my good buddies to ride and have a good time on? This bike for sure. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed my little brief video on which one of these bikes was the best. I picked this one. I'll say it again and again and again. And I'll also remind you that if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. For returning subscribers, tap that bell, and you'll get notified when the content is uploaded. The gauge cluster on this bike is great. Anti-glare. You'll never get any sun glare on it. It's slightly larger, displays a little bit more information. You know, if you guys do end up purchasing an M1000 RR, make sure you get the thinner head gasket mod. And if you can afford it, you know, put the lean suspension on the bike. Get both those items from Miami Manny at Moto Million. Alright, folks, not going to bore you being stuck behind traffic. Thanks for viewing this video, and I'll catch you next time on the 650 YouTube channel.